है ना. Okay, slack. उधर देखना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
Can you check there? I am opening the brake. So guys, this was the practical approach for lowering anchor, and of course every ship will have different systems, so kindly read the ship specific manual and take precautions accordingly. Nevertheless, the basic remains the same, and this is apart from the toolbox talk and risk assessment which you will conduct it on site before starting any operations. Now there has been many accidents in the past where anchor has been lost or they were unable to heave up the anchor because basic practices and best practices precautions were not being followed properly. Now it's very important that when you engage the lever, you heave it up little bit and make sure that the gear and the claws has been touching each other. Otherwise, once you engage the gear and if you don't do this and if you release the brake, there will be a sudden jerk on the claws, on the gear, on the windlass gear, which can damage your gear. Another catastrophic failure can be if there is a slack, which is very rare, between the bow stopper and your windlass, and you don't heave it up prior lowering. There can be a sudden jerk which could result in the damage of your machinery, and also the anchor can be released suddenly. So this is one of the very important precautions which you need to take. Another important point and precautions while you are securing the anchor is the 3-point contact. It is very important that when you are heaving up anchor, the anchor should be fully horsed back, and it should be the 3-point contact should be made to the ship's hull. And it's very important to inspect the bow stopper also. Sometimes when the chain is just touching the bow stopper, there is a groove which is formed in the bow stopper, and there has been many incidences where the chain has slipped under the bow stopper and has gone down. So if there is a groove, of course you cannot do anything on board, but just report it and make a DD spec of it. Always remember there are 4 braking mechanisms for anchor. The first one is bow stopper, the second one is wire lashings, the third one is your gear, and fourth one is the brake itself. So when you are approaching port or harbor, your anchor should be ready for lowering in case of an emergency, and there should be always one person standby in the forward in communication with the bridge. Always remember this, even when you are approaching port or harbor, there should always be 2 brakes applied to the anchor. Now when you are approaching port or harbor, and when you are preparing anchors for an emergency, you always keep it on brakes and bow stopper. So in case of an emergency, you remove the bow stopper and release the brakes for letting go the anchor.